For having me, Knowledge. I hope you are all having a great knowledge thus far. So I'm really excited to have this session with you all to talk all about the accessibility and globalization features on the ServiceNow platform. And I have some really fun things to give away to you. And so I'm going to be directing you to some QR codes as we go through this. And it's going to be a lightning round of content. So hold on. There are going to be some complex slides that I might just recommend that you take a screenshot of so that you can keep everything for later or look at it in more detail. So I do apologize. It's a lot of content, but that's what we're all about at Knowledge. We're just going to give you a bunch of really great information, and we're happy to come together as a community and look at it more in depth. So what you're seeing here is our wonderful ServiceNow accessibility and globalization product team. And we're going to jump right in. So I'm going to be sharing with you some amazing features, and not one actually, but two free open source tools. The AI one is at the end of the session, so do stick around before you go ahead and head off to networking. But my name is Dr. Alaina Beaver. I use she, her pronouns, and I am the Global Head of Accessibility Customer Engagement at ServiceNow. And I am going to show our safe harbor statement. I am going to be sharing some things that are on our accessibility roadmap and some things that are future looking. So have to show that. But otherwise, nothing else here is particularly ServiceNow confidential. It's all good. All right. So going to set the stage. I hope everybody knows this and embraces this idea, but everyone will use accessibility features at some point in their life. This is a great unifier in our society. 1.3 billion people have some kind of disability. This is actually a conservative estimate. So 16% of the population, but in a lot of developed countries, it's up to 25% of the population, and even more in certain areas of the world. So there are a lot of people out there who self-identify as having a disability, but even more who don't necessarily self-identify as having an accessibility need, but would benefit from one. So here at ServiceNow, we are, of course, very aware of this and aware of the legislation and regulations regarding accessibility. We do take a global view of all of the legislation that's out there. But in general, everything right now ladders up to an international set of guidelines called the WCAG guidelines. That stands for Web Content Accessibility Guidelines. And I'm proud to say that we have updated our commitment at ServiceNow to uphold WCAG level 2.2 AA. That is the highest international standard. Just as a point of reference, most other standards around the world are still upholding 2.1. It is backwards compatible, so that's great. We're still we got you covered. So as we are moving through and looking at those WCAG standards and heading into the future, our goal is to always be on the cutting edge and to be ahead of legal adoption rates. However, legislation and conformance is really just the floor when it comes to accessibility. We always want to shoot up on the rocket ship through the ceiling. And so we are always aiming for excellent usability for all people. So as we design that future of work, this is really the full spectrum of experience that we're looking at when we design that future of work. We're looking at not just those permanent categories of functional limitation that many people think about when they hear the word accessibility. They often associate that with disability. But disability is just one piece of the accessibility spectrum. There are a lot of situational needs or functional limitations. And so as you look at this grid, I hope that you see yourself somewhere in here or someone that you love. I think accessibility is actually a great unifier because there's something for everyone. And we will all need some kind of technical adjustment at some point in our lives. Now, our team, I sit on a team that has done some amazing work. We've only formally been around in this sort of configuration for about 4 years as a product team, but we've driven huge change across the organization at ServiceNow. from engineering to design to how our sales folks talk about accessibility. And I'm proud to say that we've won some awards and have received some recognition in the industry for our work. And we also, as we move forward in what we call in the accessibility industry, shifting left, that's getting more and more of the organization to be fully embracing an accessibility mindset and to see it as a real shining feature of what our software provides. We encourage champions. We encourage a lot of learning, and we have lots of ways for people to get involved. Now, I'm going to kind of quickly go over some of the key areas of focus for 2025 for us. Um, this is one of those slides that it would be a great idea to just take a screenshot if you want to read all this small print later. I do apologize that this one and the next one are pretty busy, but we're going to be going into looking at accessibility. Yeah, and I'm seeing in the chat A11y, accessibility as an acronym. There's 11 letters in between the A and the Y. I also am going to go into internationalization and localization. Those are all acronyms. I have a little term sheet coming up to talk about those. So apologies if there's any confusion with the lingo in the chat. Yeah, as we've been focusing this year on conformance and building more accessibility checkers into the platform, we recognize that you are not experts necessarily on all things accessibility. That's why we're trying to make it easier than ever to just check for accessibility as you build things within ServiceNow. And so we're building more and more accessibility checkers into the platform. And soon you'll be seeing that as automated checkers and utilizing AI to be checking things for you. We're working really hard on usability of the platform always. And so our goal is to always go above and beyond. Whenever you log into ServiceNow in your settings, you can always adjust the accessibility settings to customize the experience for whatever you might need, whether that be, sort of a high contrast mode or using zoom magnification. Screen reader users should be able to fluently utilize the platform. So we are accessible with all kinds of existing assistive technologies, but there are some things that kind of fall in that category of going above and beyond conformance, like supporting neurodivergent populations. And so one of the amazing products that I'm going to give away to you for free is our little tool called Text Adjust. And that's to support people who have different support needs when they're reading, especially very complex UIs, which ServiceNow UIs are definitely complex. We also have, of course, leaning into the future with voice and AI. So I'm going to talk a little bit about the voice work that we've done this year to be engaging across all of the AI that ServiceNow is doing to include voice with that. Right now, that's an accessibility setting. If you are a NowAssist customer, that is within your accessibility settings to turn on voice input for NowAssist. And as we continue on, we're going to be just scaling our efforts more and more. We have some really great ideas of products that are coming up around the corner. All right, second really busy slide. And then, so I'm not going to cover all of this in detail, but just as a quick look backwards, 2024 was a really busy year. If you're still on one of our 2024 releases, you can see all of the things that the team worked hard to do to improve accessibility in those particular family releases. We also have our updates for Yokohama and Zurich. We've done some really incredible work. So again, I don't have time because I want to get to the cool stuff and the giveaways to go through all of this in detail. So please do just take a screenshot, take a look at it, reach out to me later. I'm always happy to come and do a meeting or a roadshow with you or your team to talk more about what our team has been up to improve the accessibility across the entire ServiceNow platform. All right, so screenshots taken. Hopefully, we have a lot of good things that we're planning for next year in Australia and Brazil. So as we are moving on, what you're seeing are features that are going to just continue to improve over time. If you have any questions, though, I will mention that we have accessibility conformance reports. So we try to be as transparent as possible within the ServiceNow website. If you just go to servicenow.com and scroll all the way to the bottom and click accessibility, That's where you can get to our accessibility statement, our public statement of our commitment, and a link to the entire documentation of all of our accessibility conformance reports. And those are the types of things that you need to do for due diligence whenever you're procuring ServiceNow software. So we have accessibility conformance reports that are released by family and organized by product. And so we try to be as transparent as possible in putting all of that legally required documentation at your fingertips. All right, so I'm excited to share 2 award-winning products. The first one that I'm going to share for you for accessibility is voice input for NowAssist. This is a 2025 Gaddies winner. The Gaddies is an event or an award that is awarded by the Global Accessibility Awareness Day Foundation. And so we're very proud to be a Gaddies award winner for 2025. And this is an exciting way for us to just further double down on integrating accessibility at every stage of the product development lifecycle in ServiceNow. It's allowing us to open conversations with all kinds of teams who now want to make sure that whatever they're thinking about at ServiceNow, whatever they're building, is fully accessible. The second one is Text Adjust, and it's a Chromium extension. So it's just actually a very elegant little tool, and we're going to give it away to you for free today. So the first one, though, voice input for NowAssist, it's basically using your voice to help engage in all kinds of accessibility workflows. So the way that you talk to Siri or Alexa or anything like that as a home voice agent, you'll be able to do the same thing with the ServiceNow platform. So I'm going to actually play a little video for you all. I hope the audio comes through in a good way. This is live on YouTube. So if you want to take it, share it, watch it again, just search, ServiceNow voice input in YouTube and it'll come right up.
When life brings unexpected challenges, when you need to work hands-free.
Have you heard of voice input? It's a lifesaver. Turn it on with accessibility preferences.
Oh, wow.
Compose a message to Peter at 8Spark. Hi, Peter. Excited to start working with you on your migration to ServiceNow.
So we have a whole range of services that we need to integrate: HR, finance, security, IT, customer service, and a whole lot more.
When you still need to deliver fast.
Set up your project for 8Spark International. Set up a table called New Admin Roles. Open HR Workspace. Enable accessibility features.
When challenges become successes.
Welcome to 8Spark International on the ServiceNow AI platform. And here's the new portal your doctors and volunteers will see.
I love it.
When it comes to accessibility, we're listening and leading. The world works with ServiceNow.
Yeah. All right. So just as a quick note on that voice input before I move on to Text Adjust. If you are a NowAssist customer, then it is automatically part of what is available. We never gatekeep accessibility features. And so if you go to accessibility settings, you should be able to toggle on voice input for NowAssist if you are already a NowAssist customer. So it's for everyone. All right, moving on. Keep those comments and questions coming in the chat. I love to see it. And thanks, Jeff, for your help in dropping some links and things. I really appreciate that. That's super helpful. All right. So the future of work is neurodiverse. 53% of Gen Z self-identify on the neurodivergent spectrum. So that means ADHD, that means dyslexia, that means any other kind of combination of neurodiverse, neurospicy self-identification. it's being seen by the younger generation as a benefit for innovation and entrepreneurism. And so it's no longer a situation where, people who are neurodiverse need to hide their neurodivergence. It's kind of a superpower. And as we are thinking about that, as the new majority of the workforce, how do we plan for this workforce and to ensure that our technology is flexible enough to meet people where they're at and help them really leverage that superpower and be more productive? And so we have developed, as just sort of scratching the surface on this. This is going to be built into the ServiceNow platform accessibility features, but it was such an easy thing to package up and give it away for free as a Chromium based extension. It was our fastest go to market option. So that's what we decided to do. So here's your chance to get out your phone and scan this little QR code, or just type this bit.ly into your browser window, bit.ly/text adjust, all one word, hyphen blog. And that'll take you to our community site where we have a post where you can download this little zip file and get text adjust as a Chromium based extension for free. It works in ServiceNow, which is what it's intended for, but it also works all sorts of other places in the web too. So one of our customers, for example, is a school district, and we've partnered with them, and they've made text adjust available in the Chromebook of every single student in the entire system. So 26,000 school children now can be using text adjust as they read articles online from History Channel or whatever other kind of assigned reading that they have, any other kind of web browsing they need to engage in. It's for everyone. We want to give this away for free and make sure that the world is more inclusive for everyone. So we're going to take a quick look at what that is looking like. And so this is kind of a little bit of a dramatic example, just so you can see it in action. But here I've gone to a pretty standard UI on ServiceNow. There's a lot of text, there's some tables, there's a lot of things going on here. And we can just go up and open up that Chromium extension and toggle it on. From there, you have the opportunity to go into one of 4 different neurodivergence research-based fonts, and then adjust the spacing of all of the text within the UI from there. So this is kind of just a dramatic example so that you can see really quickly that it works in real time, and you can just play with it until you find a setting that works for you. And then from there, it'll remember that setting. And as you go to other pages in your browser, you can just toggle it on really quick and it'll be there for whenever you need it. You could also reset and totally, change it up for next time if you want. But that's what it is. It's creating more white space on the page. So for me, the way that I think about this, let me go to this next slide here. It's just I don't identify as neurodivergent personally, but I do identify as a full-time technology worker who sits and looks at a screen 8+ hours a day. And so which one would you rather screen read? Personally, I use text adjust just to alleviate some of my eye strain and just help me skim blocks of text faster. And as we engaged in research on developing this tool, we had a participant say, the fact that ServiceNow is developing this tool makes me feel loved. And just wow, like that's all you can hope for as somebody who's working on technology, right? You want your people who are participating in this world to feel like they are getting exactly what they need, and that people care about them. And being on the accessibility and globalization team, we really do care about people and the end user experience. So very quickly now, I'm very keenly aware that I'm packing a lot into a short session, so we're going to just keep on rolling. But I will mention really quick that last one was also an award winner. Text Adjust won the Fast Company Best Workplaces for Innovators Award. So we're always pushing the envelope here on the Accessibility and Globalization team. What I'm going to show you now is an amazing localization tool. Our globalization team has created a way for people to engage in the work of localizing any workspace and utilizing the power of AI to make that faster and more efficient. So as a quick term overview, there was some talk in the chat about this, but yeah, just to help demystify some of the terminology that gets thrown around in this industry space. Internationalization has 18 letters between the I and the N. That's why it's abbreviated that way, because people don't want to type out these long terms. And so we have internationalization is work that software engineers do when they're working to process and generalize a product. Translation is literally like one language to another language. And localization is the process of converting software or products from one language to another, such as an entire instance. And that's what vendors do. And that's what we're going to talk mostly about today. But globalization, just quickly, it's what organizations do. Whole organizations need to have a globalization strategy on how they can ensure that their products truly work for the global audience. So we're going to dive deep into the localization space today. So a localized example of a UI is one in which you are seamlessly looking at it in your native language. If something has been localized for you, it's in your native language and it behaves the way that you would expect it to, so that you don't have any kind of awkward bumps or jolts, or encounter a word that is not in your native language. So as we are looking at how to do this more seamlessly for everyone who engages with ServiceNow products, we want you to be able to pull our out-of-the-box language pack and utilize it if that's what works best for you. So we do support 24 languages out of the box across the platform. If you have a language that's not listed here, don't worry, we can do that too. We just might need to be in touch about it to make sure that it's coming together for you. As we look at the localization workspace versus what's available just in the framework, if you're using localization workspace, it allows you to fully automate a lot of those workflows that can otherwise be extremely time consuming. So we have built-in dashboards and stats. We have opportunities to use automated intelligence to really just improve workflows, or overall improve communication overall. And it's built for enterprise scaling of a lot of localized content. All right, so as we are kind of wrapping up some final points about localization workspace, hopefully I've sold you on this. I do have a demo, but I don't have enough time to show it. So let me know if you're interested in this. I'm happy to arrange a follow-up with other experts on globalization on my team, and we would be happy to give you a demo of this and go deeper into it. Because it was released back in May, we also have documentation and a lot of information on our localization community or globalization community that I'm going to direct you to in just a moment. But as you're thinking about how to translate things into other languages, always be thinking about, how can we be effective and scale the work we need to do? How can we reduce manual effort? Thinking about ways to connect people faster and collaborate so that we can ultimately deliver a single interface that provides a really excellent and localized experience, so that ultimately all of our customers are receiving the very best. So if you want to find out more about this, see the demo video, get engaged with the community, here's your shot to take a screenshot or just scan this QR code and join the globalization community. And I'm wrapping up with directing you to the accessibility community as well. There's 2 different communities that I'm having you join, hopefully, as a result of this session. And then last but certainly not least, I'm going to tell you very quickly about the second free tool that I'm giving away in this session, the world's first AI model accessibility checker. And this one, just literally type in aimac.com into your browser window and it'll bring it right up. This is a collaboration that we did with the Global Accessibility Awareness Day Foundation. And we worked with them to create an accessibility checker for AI models. So you'll see the leaderboard, but then at the bottom of that page, you'll see the link to get it for free on GitHub. So it is open source code. We've been reporting a shifting leaderboard of AI models and how well they are doing at accessibility and delivering accessible code, because we want these companies to compete. We want them to be getting more and more accessible and driving more and more accessible solutions. We promote this within our own services and teams in engineering at ServiceNow. We want everybody to be creating the most accessible code possible for the most accessible solutions in the world. So we're very proud to have developed this in collaboration with the Global Accessibility Awareness Day Foundation. It's a mouthful. So please take it, go use it. If you're building an AI tool, use this and ensure that whatever you build is going to work for all people. And then lastly, as I come up on my final minute or so, I'll just put in a plug. If you are a ServiceNow customer and you are not involved in our Product Advisory Council for accessibility, I personally run the pack and I would be thrilled to welcome you to the pack. I don't do, any kind of elaborate, vetting of people. I take a very inclusive approach. So if you want to be in, you're going to be in. And we'd love to have you get involved with us. And we're a very vibrant community of accessibility practitioners. And our customers are the ones who help prioritize and determine our roadmap. So if you want to feel like you're having an impact in this space, there's no better place to do that than with our Product Advisory Council. So please do reach out to me. I would love to be in touch with you. Take a screenshot, think about it. Hope to hear from you soon. So that's all from me. There's a whole lot of information that I've provided in this presentation. And the GitHub link is right at the aimac.ai. Awesome. Well, we're on time for networking. So head on over there. Have a great networking session. It was wonderful to participate in knowledge with you all. Have a great day.